Okay, so let's talk about customer journey number one, and we call it the common business owner journey. So what we have observed over 30 years is something that is incredibly consistent for that period of time. And this is where somebody starts a business, and we call that first phase of the first 3 years startup. And you start a business and you naturally use what we call your sphere of contacts to get the business going. So your friends, your family, maybe previous people that you worked with, previous clients that you worked with when you were employed, and you start to build a little bit of revenue in the business. And that gives you immense confidence that you've got some momentum, and that's fantastic as an initial foundation. Once somewhere between those sort of 0 and 3 years, you jump to phase 2, which we call stuck. Now, often this is between years 3 and 5. And what happens is we notice that many business owners don't get that consistent rise in revenue. So their revenues, instead of growing, they plateau. And this is often down to the fact that most people that own businesses are amazing at what they do, but they have no idea how to sell. And they haven't built themselves a solid sales and marketing strategy to grow the business beyond the sphere they knew running out, or being saturated, so there's nothing else to offer from that sphere. So you then get in this stuck period and your revenues start plateauing, and you start wondering after that nice early success, what am I doing wrong? What's going on here? What do I need to do to get this business back on track? How do I grow this revenue? How do I get more customers? How do I get better customers? And everything starts to feel a little overwhelming because it's not quite going down the path that you really desired. And this is really key to recognize if you have any of these symptoms yourself. Are you struggling with your revenues? Are you struggling making enough money? A lot of companies in this phase tend to settle for survival, for just living day to day, week to week, month to month, hoping that the revenue covers enough for them to pay their own personal bills at home and enough to cover any business overheads that they've got. There's no real life. You're not achieving the success that you set out to achieve by starting a business. So this is a really dangerous period if you allow yourself to be working all the time in your business, not on it. And that's another common output from being in the stuck phase, is that every day you get caught up in the whirlwind of trying to keep everything going, do everything yourself, just juggling all those balls, and you just never actually focus on where the business is going and having a plan and a strategy to take it to that next level. So that's why lots of business owners get stuck. And then from stuck, we move to a kind of survival phase, which doesn't actually mean that everybody survives it, sadly. So this is where a lot of the 70% failure rate come from. And this is often anywhere from years 5 to 10. And this is where the business tends to have a runway that's left of survival. So you kind of recognize, if I don't have something change by 1 year, 2 year, 18 months, whatever, then the business is going to fail. And then you focus on that runway rather than focusing on the opportunity in front of you. And this is where that mindset becomes a real challenge, that confidence, that belief that, what am I doing wrong? Why is everyone else doing everything so fantastic? And why are all their revenues growing and mine are just sitting here still doing nothing? Or worse than that, they're actually declining. I've got bad customers that I don't want to look after, but I then raise their prices because what if they leave? That's going to make my situation even worse. All those kind of conundrums that go through the business owner mind when you're stuck and then you move into survival. The reality is that we get so overwhelmed in those stages that inevitably we become that awful 70% failure rate. And we've put all this effort in over all these years and the business doesn't work out. Now, you will absolutely hear people say that if that's the case, you will learn massively from your business failing and come back stronger. And that is possible. But what if you could make sure that that journey didn't turn out like that, and that you had all the resources, knowledge, plan, strategy to help your business move forward and never sit in that stuck and survival zone? That's customer journey 2 that we've observed. So let's take a look at that now.